me go on Instagram too, so give me a sec. Oh, hey, look, we're live.
Oh, we're live. Crazy. Crazy things happening.
Here, do you want to? Hello, everybody. And it is travel happy hour because you know what? We haven't like hung out with you guys in a while, and I think it's been kind of like a stressful, I don't know, couple months. So it's a really good time to hang out and chat. And Nico is here with me today, and
Oh,
Luca potentially might be joining us. We're not sure. He might,
theoretically.
theoretically. And so, what we want to do, first of all, I want to get Instagram going too. What we want to do is give you guys an opportunity to just hang out and chat with us. Sorry, that's not what I wanted. I wanted live. And so, what we thought would be fun is if you are online, drop a comment and say hi. We have a little comment bar next to here on our screen, and that way we can actually see what you are, wanting to say to us, and then we will uh, chat with you. So, sorry, I'm trying to set up Instagram also so people can see us live on Instagram. So, hey Nico, how you doing?
I'm doing quite well, Mother. How are you doing? It's fine. Uh, March day. I think it's March, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Good.
I am okay, and I have been busy planning our 2026 tour schedule, which has been a lot of work to do. But I think we agreed on the 27th of March. That's when we're going to release our tour schedule for next year. If you are interested in going to Asia, which Nico, this fine child here, will be joining us on. Nico is going to be coming with me on the Vietnam and the Cambodia tours, and the Cambodia tour is going to be just a little bit longer. What?
Live macadamia nut reaction.
Sorry, you guys. Obviously, I haven't done this in a while, so there we go. Okay, so hello, Instagram. We're having a live happy hour. So we're on Instagram and on Facebook, and let's see if we can be cool enough to do both of these things at once. Probably not.
My camera does not have a wide enough angle.
It doesn't. Yeah. Okay. So hello to everybody. Chime in and say hello if you are here to see us. I see a bunch of people. Oh, hi everybody over
Wow.
on Instagram. Hi
That was
everybody over on
fast.
Facebook. Sorry, Laura. I know we're late. I'm not on time all the time like you are.
8 minutes late, literally
Hey,
unwatchable.
Kathy. Haven't seen you in so long, so it's so nice to see everybody. So, Nico needs to scoot in more, and Isis is also here to join us for the travel happy hour. She will not be going with us to Southeast Asia because I don't think that's a good idea. Just a fun little fact: you guys love Isis. I know we always get lots of reaction when Isis is in anything. She is my cat. She has been our cat for 14 years. She has had six companion cats that have mysteriously died or disappeared. So you might remember the big fat cat we had, Opal, who one day just wasn't there in the morning and we don't know where she went. So we now call Isis Ma Baker because we're not entirely sure what she does with her companion
Still
cats.
don't really know what that means.
Yeah, she's a gangster basically.
Gen X slang.
Yeah, sorry. Gen Z slang. I don't understand it. Hit me with some Gen Z slang.
I'm not gonna do that.
It's cringe to do that, right?
That's not really Gen Z slang,
Yeah,
is
it
it?
is. It is. It is though. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so just a little bit about what I've been doing today. I had a consultation today, which was really fun for a family who's going to Italy. They're going to Italy for a week in June, and I'm helping them out. That was super fun. And I was writing up the notes today. And then I went out for a rage walk, which I highly recommend. If you have a lot of rage inside of you, go for a really brisk paced walk. I went for a 3 mile walk today, and I felt a lot better. You should do that. You have a lot of rage in you.
I do have a lot of rage in me.
Yeah, so
I
that's a
think Isis needs to go for a rage walk.
she does that anyway.
Yeah, no, true.
That's just walking for her. So then I came back and I had a meeting with Don and Andrew, who run the business with me, and we were having a really great time just kind of talking about what we want to do for 2026. So I can tell you this. First of all, Southeast Asia is already posted. You can find it on our website, and that's Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand in a teacup, which is new. Vietnam is different, actually. We added some different things to it, and we made it a little bit slower pace. Thailand in a teacup is Chiang Mai down south and then back to Bangkok. That's going to be a super cool tour, like a little taster. And then our classic one, which is one of our most popular tours, which is Bangkok and the Southern Islands, which is just like awesome. Beautiful hotels, beautiful beaches. So that stuff's available. March 27th, I think it's going to be, is our Patreon release if you're a Patreon member. Cool news, if you are a Patreon member, we're going to do something special for you guys. If you are planning to book a tour for 2026, you're going to have 5 days to book a tour after we announce the tours, and you're going to get a $200 discount. Everybody, every Patreon member is going to get a $200 discount. So, but only in those 5 days. So you have to book. You have to be ready with your credit card and commit to a tour, and then you get that extra discount. So we thought that'd be a fun way to thank our Patreon members. And Nico's like, this is boring, but also this is the way you have a house to live in.
This is not. This is important marketing. You know.
Anyway, okay. So enough about that. I'm only mentioning it because we've gotten a lot of questions about the 2026 tour schedule. So if you have questions about what tours we're going to be doing or any of that kind of stuff, just chime in. I am looking at the comments, particularly over on here on Facebook, but I can see your comments over there too. So chime in and chat with us. We're happy to say hi to everybody. So what I wanted to do is start off by, I think it's time for a stiff drink. Nico is going to have a less stiff drink.
Yeah, I only get 2 shots of vodka, unfortunately.
He's 17, and so I thought letting him drink on camera would be like somebody's going to call CPS kind of thing. So he's going to have to drink something that is not as fortified as what I'm making. So, Nico, would you like to introduce what you're going to make?
I mean, it's not exactly a, fine Ritz-Carlton concoction here, but we have some San Pellegrino, and I'm going to mix in some tonic water and citruses.
All right, go for it. We're going to call this the Nico. So this is for those who would like to think they're old enough to drink a gin and tonic, or for those who don't drink, or maybe you're trying to give up drinking. This is quite a time in history to try to give up drinking, friends, but I wish you well on that endeavor. That's not me. Oh, over here I can see Linda Contreras. Oh, hello to you. I have not seen you in a while. There's some fun people that are, oh, look at all you fun people. So many of you I have traveled with. I know you personally. It's so nice to see everybody. All right, so Nico has filled his glass with a lot of San Pellegrino aranciata.
Much.
Yeah, but you don't have much room left to put anything else in.
No, it's only 2 ingredients.
Oh, okay, so he's put in tonic water, and he's put in San Pellegrino aranciata, and he's mixing. They can't see you on
Gently.
camera.
Well,
Yeah.
So
Okay, I will hold it.
it's very interesting visuals. I know. It's missing out on a lot here.
So we're doing this at my desk instead of in the kitchen because the Wi-Fi router doesn't reach to the kitchen. So that's why we don't do so many cucina quarantenas anymore, because it's really, really hard.
Yeah, we need a new Wi-Fi router.
Yeah, we do. All right. Cut them up there. We love grapefruit in this house, so we are going to add some grapefruit.
Might be a little bit big, however.
That's okay. Squeeze her in there. That's going to be nice.
Sorry.
Grapefruit bath. You can't see it on camera, but my child is bathing me in grapefruit.
It's 1 drop.
Okay, I'm going to sip. That's excellent, actually. I don't know if it needs anything else. I'd put a little bit of lime in, maybe.
All
Want to do lime?
right. I'll taste this first.
Yeah. So a couple of questions that we have received recently that I just want to talk about while he is working on that is people have been asking us. Oh, I like that. Somebody says, waiting for the oh, that's Vicky. Hey, Vicky. Waiting for the 2026 tour schedule is the adult equivalent of waiting for Santa. I love that. It is. It's a reveal. I do want to just mention the 2026 tour schedule because we want to get it out to you quick because everybody keeps asking. We're going to do the first half of 2026 on March 27th. We're going to do the second half, which is going to be like August through December. We're going to release those tours in June because they're not quite done. They're not priced. We're going to announce them in March, but you won't be able to book them until June. So I hope that'll build up some excitement for you. You get to hear about all the things we're working on, and there's some cool things. So just a little update about that ITB thing that I went to, which is the biggest conference of travel. We had so much fun, and it was so exhausting, and my feet still hurt. Hey, Travis and Karen, hi. Oh yeah, I know. Okay, great question. Are we gonna, I know I'm all over the place, but like I haven't been on camera in a while. We are gonna do another Virgin cruise. We've already picked it out. It's gonna be January of 2026, and my then 18-year-old will be joining me, probably. He's taking a gap year to travel the world with me. So, not a gap year, gap quarter to take
Hands.
to learn with me. Anyway, so at ITB, we made a list of things we wanted to learn about. We made appointments with people. It was super fun, and now we're starting to get the emails back of people following up to see if like we're a good fit. One of the ones that's intriguing me the most, just to give you a little idea, is Costa Rica. We got a really interesting connection in Costa Rica. We got a really interesting connection in Guatemala. I'm very intrigued by Guatemala, and I've heard a lot of people talk about that. So a lot of you have been asking for South America and Central America. we have heard you. We are listening to you. Peru, I'm hoping to put back on the map potentially, but we don't know for sure. So anyway, cool stuff happening, but also Italy. And you might have seen my post a couple of days ago. Italy, I have decided that I would like to do a Rome tour. I wasn't sure if people would be interested in going in November. It looks like a ton of interest. So if you were planning to book that Italy staycation with me in November, I'm going to open up registration on Sunday morning. So if you are intending to do that, we're going to have 16 or so spaces available Sunday morning. And just look at Facebook and look at my website. We'll have it ready for booking. Kind of first come, first serve. We've got a lot of people asking. So if you're a party of 6 or more and you definitely want to do this tour, you need to reach out to me earlier and we'll figure something out. Okay? So Sunday morning, that's when that's going to be on the menu and ready for you guys to book. Okay. Sorry, I got off track.
That was
How's your
on
drink?
track. It was good. The lime was a good idea, I think.
Okay. Well, lime makes everything better, I think.
This is probably true, actually.
Oh my gosh, Nico, that's so good.
That is good. That's very good.
So, okay, so we've got San Pellegrino, tonic water, grapefruit, and lime. And that is a magical drink. And if you served me that and told me it was a cocktail, I'd be like, okay. So, especially if alcohol gets taxed to be too expensive, this might be a good alternative. So, all right, so now we're going to make my drink. My drink, if you know me, what is my drink?
Negroni.
A Negroni, yeah, I know. I'm a little bit of a Negroni nerd. I learned to drink Negronis from my architecture professor when I was in college in 1995 in Rome. Unfortunately, her husband just passed away. His name was Tony Costa Haywood, and I actually would like to, I know it's not super interesting to everybody, but they were really important in my life, he and his wife. So I'll be posting his obituary later this weekend just because I think it'd be interesting for you guys to kind of see the important people that influenced everything you see around you now. But they taught me how to make a good Negroni. And I've been drinking them ever since. It's named after a Count Negroni, apparently. Did you know that?
I did not. I'm not well versed in Negroni history, surprisingly.
You know everything about everything, and you don't know about that. I'm shocked.
I know.
Shocked.
I'm shocked.
Shocked. So what it is it's a mixture of gin. This is economic austerity gin. The cheapest gin from Trader Joe's. The gin kind of matters, but kind of doesn't. And I'll tell you why later. Red vermouth. This is something that can really change the flavor of the drink. And then, of course, Campari, which is kind of like a staple if you're an Italy lover. If you love Italy and you don't love Campari, do you really love Italy? I'm not sure you do. So if you don't love Campari, you need to learn to love Campari. It's kind of like learning how to love, I don't know, like all the weird intestine stuff in like Sicily, or like the misto bollito from like Verona, that's like the mixed animal pieces. Anyway, it's an Italian thing. Love it or leave it. You must like Campari. What is Campari? It is a bitter liqueur. It's rather strong, and nobody will tell you what's in it because actually people who work there couldn't even tell you the exact recipe. They try to keep it secret, but it's very bitter. The red apparently comes from beetle shells. Doesn't that make it like actual beetles?
Yeah.
Doesn't that make it more attractive?
Everything delicious in the world comes from something absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually true. So this is the main staple. You can take this and you can make a million drinks out of it. I like just a Campari spritz sometimes in the summertime where you just do one shot of this with actually just soda water, or remember when we were in Greece, what we did? We mixed it with the San Pellegrino. Remember we were getting the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That. You can mix this with like citrus sodas, and it's super, super good on the rocks if it's hot. It's
good in this, probably.
Is that a very passive hint?
No, not
at all.
Okay.
Not. All right. So we have our 3 main ingredients, and we have to mix them equally. So an equal shot. That's what they will tell you. But it's not quite true. So you need to mix it to your specifications, what makes you happy. I prefer a little less gin, a little more vermouth. So it's sort of like, instead of 1, 1, 1, it's like 1.9, 1.1. That's just me. And the way that you can change up what you are doing with this is you can use different qualities of liquor. The vermouth actually can change the flavor completely. So if you get a really, really cheap vermouth, it's not going to be good. In fact, when we were on vacation in Hawaii recently, my boyfriend brought really cheap vermouth, and we couldn't drink them. It was so gross. It tasted like that fake cherry taste. It was disgusting. So buy a good vermouth. Kochi is good. They have that at Costco. You can go to like an Italian importer and see, and just try different ones to see what you like. This is the standard though. Most Italian bars will have this. And then I'll show you the wild card ingredient in a second. Okay, and then citrus of some kind. Orange normally. That's not what I'm going to do tonight. What? Oh, we got some questions. Oh, sorry. I can't turn up my mic. Turn up your volume. Sorry, I don't have a regular mic. It's just my computer. So I can yell, but that'd be weird. So unfortunately, I suppose this is what it is. Okay, so we're going to go Campari first. Glass with ice. I use a lot of ice because this is all alcohol, straight alcohol, and I like to let it melt a little bit so it waters it down just a little bit. So here we go. I spitball it. I don't actually use. I cook like this too. You guys have seen me. I never measure anything. So I'm going to pour, yeah, that's about there. So it's a little bit close to, I don't know, like half an inch up the glass. Here, I'm going to, there we go. Oh, other people are saying they can hear me fine. Cool. So I don't know. All right, now I'm going to mix in an equal part of gin. Now I will say I have another kind of gin that's not cheap, you know, economic austerity gin. I have some that has rhubarb and ginger flavor in it. It's excellent in Negroni. That's not everybody's taste though.
Yeah, I'm suspicious of that. I've never had a Negroni.
You should go. Why don't you go grab that one and smell it? It smells really, really good. But I'm not going to do that on this one. I'm going to do standard one. So standard gin. Let's just spitball it. I'm going to pour in about a little under an inch. There we go. And that's about a spitball. Now the nice thing is, as you make this, you can kind of try moving it back and forth. Great question, Kathy. Have I ever tried Select? You betcha. I love Select. It's just hard to get in the U.S. Anytime I bring Select home, everybody in my house drinks it. Luca, my older son, mixes it with orange juice. It's called a Garibaldi. So it's Campari, but I think it's a little bit smoother, is my feeling. So Select, like I said, that was very hard to find in the U.S. Some importers might have it. I just usually bring it home if you're at an Italian duty free. You can often find that. So, I love all these comments of ideas that we can change up. So, yeah, add your comments if you have a different way. So here's the standard Martini Rosso red vermouth, which is a sweet, dry red vermouth. Don't use white. It's gross. It's too citrusy. That is what I use to make a white Negroni in the summer, which I invented myself. So that's something different, but red vermouth is the classic Negroni. So, and we are almost out, sadly. Oh, just not really enough. Oh, that's really sad. So, but I think it's just enough. Yeah, okay. So there you have it. That's the classic Negroni. Then what you should do is you should put a little bit of citrus in there. And I'm actually going to put grapefruit in because I think grapefruit imparts just kind of a nice little flavor. Most people only put in the rind, the peel, the buccia, as we say in Italian. But I like to just put a whole slice because I like the juice too. So this is all about you. Yes, Laura, more gin, of course. You like gin. I like my Campari and my vermouth. Okay, so I'm putting in my, there we go, my grapefruit. But wait, there's more. Now, this normally would be all I would do. And it's actually really good. But what I learned recently in Venice, when I was in Venice, I went to just a really cheap little neighborhood cocktail bar. And I saw them do this. They put Angostura bitters in as a dash on top. And I tried it, and I love it. The Angostura bitters, by the way, comes in... Did you find the gin? No, it's the pink one on the top shelf.
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
I did smell it.
Could you bring it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Angostura bitters comes in regular, but also orange. So I like the citrusy quality of a Negroni like this. So we're going to just go boop, boop, boop. A couple little drops in there. And then once when I was in Sicily, a guy made a Negroni, and then he had a big, long spoon, and he handed him to us. And then he said, wait, wait. And then he stirred it like this. And then he said, now it's a Negroni. So apparently that stirring is critical. That's really good. All right, cheers, baby. In Italy, typically you would not cheers glass to glass with a non-alcoholic beverage, but it's my child, so that's fine. I would normally do this because it's bad. But okay, eye contact. All right, everybody, eye contact.
Proper cheers etiquette.
Yeah, so I'm first going to cheers Nico, and then I'm going to cheers you, and you have to give me proper eye contact. Okay, Nico? Eye contact?
Eye contact.
Here we go. Cheers. All right, that was unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have the proper like clink, you know.
Okay, here we go. There we go. That's a good cheers. Chin chin, you can say, which actually comes from Cinzano, which is a vermouth brand. You can also say slancha if you're Irish. There's a million different ways. This is one of my favorite drinking games with my friends that speak a lot of languages. We stand in a circle, and each person says cheers, and then you keep going. And when you get to somebody who can't think of another language to say cheers in, they have to drink. It's a really fun game. Anyway, okay, so now I'm going to cheers you. So eye contact, everybody. Eye contact. Nico?
I'm making eye contact with Instagram.
Okay, I'll make eye contact with Facebook. You make eye contact with Instagram. We're going to cheers. Ready? All right. Salute to your health. Clink. Clink. Did you do eye contact with us? You have to, or it's bad luck.
You have to.
You have to.
You're all gonna get bad luck if you didn't look straight into the camera.
So that's how I make my favorite drink. I have heard, Warren, who is our guy who does all of our tech stuff, he told me, and he lives in Rome, that you can pre-mix all of this stuff and put it in a bottle and age it. Isn't that interesting? I know, that doesn't sound
like
right.
Negroni heresy to me.
It does, honestly, but he's like a Negroni freak. Like, you think I love Negronis. Warren loves them more. Have you met Warren?
Probably. Can't remember any of your colleagues.
Yeah, I know. Nico has met everybody, and he doesn't remember any of them. That's okay. You're just going to own the company someday, so, you know.
Yeah.
No need to remember anybody.
I'll just be the faceless CEO making all the terrible decisions at the top, so. Cutting everybody's pay by 75%.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. So, this is that gin I was talking about. So rhubarb and ginger gin, and this is a really neat addition. I know if you drink Negronis regularly, you're going to be like, that's heresy. Your passport is going to be canceled. You can't go to Italy anymore. I think it's actually delightful. I will take it. Would you like that in your drink?
No, I don't like gin. I've had like a sip of a gin and tonic before. It's way too bitter for me.
It is, yeah. You like more fruity drinks if you're going to have one. Yeah.
I'm a sweet, innocent child. I just need gallons of sugar in my drinks.
Yeah, the question, if you age it, would it get better? Apparently. And I'm willing to try this experiment for science. Don't you think? For science. So
what do we age it in? Like a glass?
I think you just, well, I guess if you put it into like a little barrel or something, that would give it flavor. I don't know. Glass. I was thinking just a mason jar. So we'll try it, and we'll check back with you guys and let you know how it worked. I don't know if that works. So a couple of questions we've been getting from people that just in general that I would like to address. One of them, people have been asking, how are Americans being received worldwide now that we're apparently picking a fight with Canada or something? I don't even understand what's going on. So how are people receiving us? And they are receiving us as normal. People have been super nice. I was just in the Netherlands, and believe me, if you're in the Netherlands, they will tell you what they think of you.
It's true.
It's true. It's true, though. So, like, I think that is the best barometer ever. If you don't get any hate in the Netherlands, you're not going to get any hate anywhere, because they're the one culture that will tell you exactly what they think. So the thing is, people abroad, people in other countries, they do not equate you to your government. They do not equate you to world events. They equate you to you. So if you're cool, they're going to be cool. That's the way it is. If you behave in a cool manner, you're gracious and kind and friendly, as you, I assume, always are, they're going to be totally fine. So don't worry about that. If you are thinking about traveling with me or traveling on your own, it's going to be totally fine. Just don't put your politics out there. Honestly, you don't need to agree with me or anybody else. Just I swear to you, at the beginning of my Egypt tour, I already know the first thing I'm going to say. I love you all. I don't want to know who you voted for. Can we just put it aside? When you're traveling, set it aside. Don't bring it up. That's my advice. You do what you want. I personally think politics doesn't belong in travel, because I think that travel is the one place you can bring people with opposing views together. People of all stripes can love travel. And I think travel can be a really great way to communicate with people who don't agree with you. So if you go, people are not going to give you hate because you're an American. I was just there. But you do have to just be careful about being polite and kind as always, as I'm sure all of you always do. Oh, there's a lot of.
Oh yeah. I didn't
Sorry.
think those were updating.
I didn't either. Yeah. So anyway, so that's just my advice. It's all fine. People may come up to you and make a yeah. So there we go. Make a joke. They may come up to you and be curious. I remember. I have a funny story to tell you actually. Yeah, Canadians. Yeah, Canadians still like you. I like you, Canadians.
Supposedly.
Oh, come on. I still like Canadians. We travel. We have Canadian customers all the time. It's fine. I will tell you a story from 2017, I think it was. So I was working on updating the Rick Steves guidebook to Naples, I think it was, and I was in the National Archaeological Museum. I went into the sexy room. Do you know the sexy room in that museum?
Is that the room that we were talking about the other day?
Yes, it's the room that's full of penises. It's everywhere. So, and actually, I was recommending this to that mother with teenagers going to Italy in June. The teenagers think it's hilarious. So it's all of these phallic symbols from brothels, the god Priapus who has the really big penis. It's very funny. So I go into this room in the National Archaeological Museum, and I'm just working on updating the guidebook. Okay, is that where that is? You know, is the description right here? Do I need to write anything extra? And this guard is kind of following me around. And, you know, in Italy, I'm 6'2", I'm blonde, I have big boobs and blue eyes. Men follow me around. This is nothing new. And I'm like, oh, great, another one of those guys. So I'm walking around just kind of doing stuff. And he keeps looking at me and kind of looking like he wants to come over and talk to me. And he comes over and he says to me in Italian, you know, ciao, signorina, come stai? like he's flirting with me. And I opened up my mouth and I was like, bene, e tu? You know, like, and he goes, wait, you speak Italian? And I said, yes. And he goes, are you American? Yeah. Oh, okay, great. Hey, can you explain to me what's going on in your country? Because I don't understand. And I remember that was one of my favorite cultural moments ever because because the guy actually completely intended to hit on me until he understood that I was American. And then needing to understand was more important. And that's so Italian, actually. That's so Italian because people there are so engaged in politics. Anybody sitting on a street corner has read the newspaper thoroughly that day because their citizens are super engaged in the public discourse. So that was just, I thought, such an interesting thing. And I want you to remember that when you go. People are curious, but aren't you curious? You probably are too, you know? I used to always make fun of all of my Italian friends for Berlusconi, and now, you know.
Well, that hasn't gotten better.
Well, he's dead, so.
Oh. The Berlusconi situation has improved.
Anyway, so politicians are not you, and you are not politicians. And old countries that have had good governments and bad governments, the people in those countries know you are not the government. You aren't. You are you. And most people around the world understand that. So I think it's best to just be a good ambassador for who we really are, what values you instill. 99% of people I have met on my tours have been amazing, kind, gentle humans, even if they don't vote the same way that I do. So just keep that in mind. There are so many good people in this world, and just being a good person is all you need to do to be welcome in a country. So that's just my 2 cents worth. Nico, 17-year-old wisdom for us?
I probably shouldn't say my actual opinion.
No, you shouldn't.
No, I really shouldn't. Yeah, I would probably agree with that. Just everything is easier. It's easier to have a good time in basically any situation if you just kind of keep politics out of it.
Yeah, it's true. And, you know, just people are people. And I think that's the nicest thing about travel is you learn that people are people. So changing the subject a little bit, I'm super excited because Nico is going to be coming with me to Egypt, which is very exciting. What are you excited to see when you go there? What are you looking forward to?
I don't know too much about Egypt, but, you know, the pyramids, ruins, etc. I think Cairo is going to be cool, though.
Yes, Cairo is chaotic. And actually, we're doing something kind of special. This was a special request because the large part of this group are people, I call them my ladies, who have been traveling with me for a really long time. They wanted to go to Alexandria, which I've never been to. So Hoda, Wonder Hoda, who is my Egyptian sister from another mister, she has arranged an extension to Alexandria for us. So we're actually going to go there first and see the wonders of Alexandria, which I think are all underwater, but still, that'll be really cool. So Hoda put that together just for us as a little extra. And so Nico will get to see that, and then pyramids, Cairo, and we get to go snorkeling in the Red Sea, which will be great because I didn't get to do that last time because I was sick that day. So I'm kind of excited about all of that. So it's so fun to see everybody. Look at all these people. Most of you guys I have traveled with before, so this is really awesome. What else? Nico and I also, Nico's going to be traveling with me a lot. He is assisting me actually on a private family tour. And this is something very interesting. A lot of you know I used to lead the Rick Steves family tours, and I helped with organizing that program years ago. And so I just kind of thought, oh, well, now that I have my own business, that's too bad. I like doing the family tours, but I'm not sure I have the market to do that. So I never thought to put that on the schedule. But we were approached by a family who said, hey, we know you have done those. Can you put a private family tour together? So it's a tour with, I think, 16 people, and it's grandparents, parents, kids, cousins, and they're going to travel with us from London to Rome. And it's a totally custom tour, and Nico is coming as the youth liaison, I guess you could say.
I'm such a I really know how to talk to the youths. You know, I'm very in tune with all the youthful minds these days.
Yeah. Are you working on your hand gestures?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
This is how we communicate these days. Actually, we don't really need to speak English anymore. We just kind of like.
Oh, I thought it was emojis. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really know how to use emojis.
So that's what we're going to do this summer in June. We're going to go from London. We're going to go London to Paris, and then Paris countryside, Switzerland. We're going to go to on the coast of Italy, and then we're going to go to Rome, and it's going to be really cool. And then afterwards, Nico and I are trying to decide what we want to do. We might go to Venice. I was thinking even Sicily for a couple days would be nice. Maybe.
Yeah, afterwards.
Yeah.
Fun.
And then off to the Netherlands, and then we'll head home after that. So that's our plan. One little piece of information I wanted to share with you guys is that we are going to, I've been booking all my plane tickets. So booking plane tickets, I am noticing that it's a really good idea in this moment to book way ahead. So I just booked our tickets to Indonesia. They were not cheap. They were quite expensive, and that's a month and a half, 2 months out. Usually 2 months out is okay, but try to book way in advance if you can. I know plans change and stuff. Get travel insurance for sure. We're going to have some talks about that here because I more than ever think travel insurance is really important. But I have found that I'm looking at my fall ticket to Romania, and it's only like $1,100. And I think if I wait any longer, it's going to be way, way, way more. So keep that in mind, especially if you're booking main cabin tickets. Those tickets, really buy them as soon as you can. Even if you're thinking about fall travel, start shopping now. I also went to one of these business class consolidators for our Indonesia tickets. I think it's called Sky with Class. And they got me a premium economy ticket to Indonesia for $1,000 less than the airline itself was selling it for. So something to keep in mind, some of these consolidators, I've tried 2 so far, and I'll write something up about that to talk about those because they look a little sketchy, right? But they end up being fine. I did that in the fall too, going to through London, and I've never had the money to do business class, but since we can kind of expense it, we've been experimenting with that. So I got a really good price for that. So yeah, so cheap flights are available right now. That Rome staycation that I'm putting together, I looked just for sample fares. In November, $650 round trip from Seattle, if you don't mind flying basic. And you know what? Some people don't. I am 6'2". I cannot fly basic economy because I need to be able to pick my seat. He cannot fly basic economy because you're what, 6'7"?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
6'6".
6'6", 6'7", they cannot fly. So basic economy is great if you're small and you really don't care where you sit. If you don't mind a middle seat, that's a great deal for you, you know. I'm too tall, so I actually need something a little better. So I would say that the best things you can do right now if you are planning fall travel is start to shop for your airfare and try to lock that down now. Another little hot tip on the airfare, if you think, oh gosh, I don't know that if I want to do that, what if my plans change? What if airfare goes down? So I've talked about this before, but like Delta, for example, if you have status with them or you have their credit card or whatever, buy a ticket that you can change. Because what you can do is you can go and change your flight, and if you change your flight, they're going to give you the new price if the price is dropped. Or if there's a price drop, what I have done before is instead of taking that credit, I'll go up to the next class. That's how I've been able to travel in the Premium Select or even Delta One, is by checking the price as the price fluctuates. I once got to move up into Delta One for $200. So if you just keep an eye on it and you keep playing with it, sometimes a different departure than what you've chosen, a different time or different routing, will get you such a price difference you can shift to a different class. So, and Isis would give you the same advice, wouldn't
Yeah,
she?
I think she would. Yeah.
So anyway, so if you guys have any questions about travel or anything, you can go ahead and pop them in there, and we would love to chat you up and so on. There's some other fun stuff I wanted to share with you guys. We are starting a brand new podcast. So well, not you, but you could. Do you want to be on?
I'm gonna be on a podcast.
You are, because you're such a good talker.
I know. I'm so good at talking to people. That's really where I excel in my life.
So I just want to give Nico a lot of props here, because he is the shyest of all people. And I know you all think I'm super outgoing, but in fact, I am probably the shyest person you've ever met other than him. So, no, it's true. See, he doesn't believe me either, but it is true. I just had to fight to not be so shy. So big props to Nico for joining me tonight. So what was I saying?
Something about podcast. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So anyway, I was having our company meeting. So we had all of our guides and staff join us for a meeting last month. And Tylen, our guide from Turkey, he said, "How come you don't have a podcast?" And I said, "Actually, I do have a podcast, but the podcast is something that I did before the pandemic. And then during the pandemic, I did those coffee chats, which we then turned into podcast episodes. So it's called Drinks with Sarah. You can find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that stuff. But I kind of haven't worked on it much lately, just because I have business to run. So Tylen had said, why don't we start a podcast? And I thought that would be really fun if we did it more like kind of as a round table. So actually, I am going to have you on to talk about teenage travel, because you're a teenage travel expert.
Yeah. I have a very normal teenage experience in my life, so it's something that I can really speak a lot on.
You're very relatable.
I'm very relatable.
Yeah.
I have such a relatable life.
Yeah. Nico famously said, when I had to cancel a trip because I had no money, he said, well, if you don't have any money right now, why don't we just go to Sicily? That's a cheap vacation.
I did not say that. I did not say that. That is absolutely not something that I said.
That actually happened. That was in 2021, I think.
Oh my god, I can't believe I said that.
But the thing is, that was actually fascinating that you said that, because for you, that was just a place that we went all the time. And so for you, you're like, well, that just is like, that's like going to LA. Like, we just go to Sicily. Like, that's cheap. And it's true. It is cheap.
Pretty cheap.
It is pretty cheap. It's just the flight ticket. But anyway. So the point is, I decided it would be very funny for us to start a podcast where me and my friends all sit around and drink a cocktail and just talk about stuff. So we're going to start working on that next week. It's going to be called the Travel Happy Hour. And we're going to invite you guys to sit with us on a Friday night and chat about travel. We're going to talk about different topics, current events. We're going to talk about expats and what it's like to be an expat. And in fact, next week, we're going to be talking about that all week. I'm going to be interviewing a few people who are expats about how you go about it, if that's something you're considering. I am considering it, of course. Nico is considering it as well, but we are both citizens of Ireland, so easier for us. Yeah.
Is it really expatriating if you're just moving back to somewhere that you're already a citizen of?
Oh, well, but we'd have to move to Ireland. Do you want to move to Ireland?
What's wrong with Ireland?
Apparently we're moving to Ireland.
It's just like Seattle.
It's just like Seattle, and it's advantageous in a European way for taxes, and we have lots of family there. Yeah. So I guess that wouldn't be terrible. So yeah, we could do that. Anyway, so we're going to talk about that. I also am going to talk a little bit next week about getting your citizenship if you don't have it already. I was born a citizen, but my kids have to apply for citizenship to get that. But there's a lot of different ways you can go about claiming citizenship in Europe if you have, let's say, a grandparent or even a great-grandparent in some cases. So, well, we've been talking about this stuff for years. It seems a little more pertinent now. And also, I think it'd be kind of fun to investigate that €1 Sicilian house situation, which is definitely not €1. What you looking at? Other good comments? Yeah. So Nico and I tonight, after we're done talking to you guys, we're going to watch the rest of The Hobbit. We've been binging The Hobbit. Interesting how that movie hits very differently now, because that was written in what, the Rise to World War One. Is that correct? I think it was the rise to the lead up to World War
I
One.
don't know. Because did he write Lord of the Rings first, and then maybe The Hobbit was written by someone else entirely?
No. They're both Tolkien. There are Tolkien nerds in the audience who can probably tell us that for
Yeah,
sure.
probably true.
Yeah.
I think we're the most knowledgeable on this.
Yeah, but my favorite thing is when we started watching that, one of the first thing that Gandalf says is, "I'm looking for somebody who would be interested in an adventure." And I feel like we need t-shirts that say that. That is the slogan of my company from now on. I guess that makes me Gandalf.
Yeah.
Gandalf the Gold.
Gandalf the Gold.
I am a bit of a wizard. I make interesting things happen for people, so I'll take that. But
You do make strange and inexplicable things happen in everyday life.
I'm so sorry for him living with me.
It's such a hard life.
All of you that have traveled with me and you know the nonsense that I like to get up to, this poor kid is exposed to it every single day.
Yeah.
He has to be live streamed on Facebook.
It's like a Sicily tour every day.
It's a Sicily tour every single day.
In Seattle, so it's way less sunny.
Yeah, it's missing the sun. So anyway, so that's what's going on around here. I think we should hang out more often. I do like cooking with you, but I do have this problem of us not being able to get a Wi-Fi signal into the kitchen. So we'll figure that out. But I think that Nico and I should cook for you guys more often.
We should. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we love Cucina Quarantena. And I've been so moved by how many times people have come up to me in the last year, and I'm not kidding, that people come up to me and go, "Thank you for doing that, because that's what saved my sanity."
Sure.
So because I've been having this sort of feeling like, you know, things are kind of going sideways and it feels a little like 2020, that it's a good time to kind of get back into the pattern that we had back then. One other thing that this week marks, and I definitely need to write a little bit about this, is the legendary escaped flight from Egypt in 2020.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you get on like the very, very last flight out of Italy?
Oh, it was so bad in every direction. It was the last flight out of everything. So just a real quick roundup for those of you that haven't heard this story. In February of 2020, I took the kids to Thailand. We'd been hearing something about some Chinese virus, I don't know, but when we left, it was January actually. It wasn't really news. So the kids came with me to Thailand. We did a Thailand tour, and they were going to fly home, and then I was moving on to Israel to do an Israel tour, and then an Egypt and Jordan tour. So we were all. Are you unraveling my sweater?
No, it's just a piece of hair.
Okay. You would totally do that.
I
though.
would not.
Yes, you would.
I would not.
So we were in Thailand. Things were starting to get really weird. We had tickets for the kids home through Hong Kong, which I don't know what possessed me to book tickets through Hong Kong. But end of the Thailand tour, I marched the kids to the airport and I put them on a plane and I sent them home by themselves on the way through Hong Kong. And as soon as I did that, I went, oh my God, they're going to be put into like a concentration camp. I don't know what's going to be waiting for them on the other side. I don't know what's going to happen. And it was so scary. So I, in the meantime, am waiting at the airport for my flight, which was going to go to, I was going to go to I was going to go to Hong Kong with them and then put them on the flight to Seattle and then fly to Israel. But I couldn't, because Israel stopped accepting flights that day from China, from Hong Kong even, into Israel. And so I realized I cannot take that flight because I won't get to Israel. So in the moment, I booked a ticket on El Al. And I'm like, I'm going to just take that flight. And I'm going to send the kids by themselves, which felt like a terrible idea, but they made it home, obviously. So I sent them away. I got the thing where they're met by the staff, and the staff's super cool, and they take them and they made sure they got to their destination and it was fine. And I bought a ticket on El Al. I go to the airport. I'm getting ready to get on my flight to El Al. As I'm waiting for my flight, they cancel all flights from Asia, including Thailand, in the moment, dynamically, as I'm waiting for my flight. So flight canceled like that. And I'm like, okay. So the world is shutting down like around me, literally around me, the world is shutting down. And I went, so where is a place I can go to get to Israel? Because my group is waiting and I cannot not go. How am I going to do that? And I thought, okay, if I fly from Thailand to Europe and then I fly back to Israel, that will work because they are accepting people who are coming from Europe. So I booked a flight to Rome. Okay. I had to go through Abu Dhabi. So I fly from Thailand to Abu Dhabi. I land in Abu Dhabi and I open up my phone and my business partner is texting me, don't get on the flight to Rome. Because in the time I got on I never told you the story, the time that I got on the flight in Thailand until it landed in Abu Dhabi, Rome had burst into flames apparently and shut down for COVID. And they weren't accepting any flights at all. And I'm like, okay. Okay. So I'm in Abu Dhabi. I can't go back to Thailand. I can't go back to the States. I have to get to Israel. Okay. So how close can I get to Israel from Abu Dhabi? So Jordan, I could get a flight to Amman. So I picked up my phone and I went beep, boop, boop, and I booked a flight to Amman, Jordan. And apparently there's a way to get into Israel from Amman. So flew there, landed, and I thought, how am I going to cross the border? Like, is this not going to be suspicious or something? So, yeah, it's a long story. You'll have to buy me a drink to hear the rest of that. But I did eventually get to Israel. Okay. And it had something to do with flirting with a border guard, but whatever.
I knew that's where that story was going. You've told me that part before.
Yeah, I don't really want to tell that on social media. Buy me a drink, I'll tell you that story. It has to do with flirting with the border guard. Anyway, that's fine. So I get to Israel. We do our tour. The tour actually goes fine. Things are still weird, but I don't really know what's going on. I'm supposed to go to Egypt next. Go to Egypt. Fantastic group. We're having a great time. About 4 or 5 days into the tour, Hoda comes to me and she goes, you're supposed to go to Jordan after this, and we have a little bit of a problem because I'm not entirely sure that you're going to be able to go to Jordan because it looks like they might be closing their borders. And I went, oh, okay. And so I talked to the group about it, and a lot of people were nervous because they had their flights out of Jordan. So we're like, okay, we'll just keep an eye on it. So every day, Hoda would come knocking on my door at like 6 o'clock, and it would be like damage control meeting.
Oh my God.
Okay, so what's in the news? What's going on? And I'm on this Nile cruise, and it was like the Nile cruise of death. It was like crossing the river Styx because I was getting these text messages from people that I'm not even very good friends with saying, can I help you get out of Egypt? I will buy you a ticket. My brother-in-law, who I rarely talk to, called me and said, I'm buying you a ticket home right now. Go get on the flight. And I'm like, yeah.
Wow.
I know. Can you believe that? And I said, I really appreciate how kind that is. I can't do that because I didn't know how bad it was. I was just with my group trying to protect them and keep them safe. But I said, I can't leave my group. I have to stay with them. I'm their mom. Like, me abandoning ship, like, you can't do that. You can't just walk away from your group without knowing what they're going to do or how they're going to be safe. So I'm like, nope, I'm here to the end. I got to be here and take care of people till the end. So every day, Hoda, that same thing. How you doing? What's going on? Oh yeah, now these 5 other countries have shut down. No more flights to the U.S. And I'm going, oh my God, we're going to be stuck. We're going to be stuck. So we get to the final destination, which is Abu Simbel. And this is such a legendary story. And I know a lot of you, I mean, Laura, you were there, you know. So Hoda and I are like sweating bullets every day going, how are we going to do this? And eventually we find out the guests cannot go on to Jordan. Our tour cannot continue to Jordan. Jordan is shut down. And in fact, the people who were one day ahead of us that did go to Jordan were then in quarantine hotels and trapped. And I don't know how long they were there for. No idea. So Hoda comes to my room and she goes, we need to get us back to Cairo and you need to get everybody out of here now. And I'm like, okay. But actually, that's not the way she opened it. She knocked on the door and she says to me, sister, how much money do you have on you? And I said, I don't know why. She's like, I need all of it. I'm like, but why? She's like, well, the airport wants to close, so we need to pay people to come in to work so that the plane will take off. And I was like, okay, here, I was like, I don't know, $600 or something. Is that enough? And she's like, I don't know. And so, you know, little Hoda. I mean, the story is so much more than this, too. We had been detained also in Luxor, and Hoda and I did good cop, bad cop, which was, you're going to meet Hoda and you're going to love this so much because she's like grandma size. She's like 4 feet tall. She's so tiny and she's so sweet, but she's the devil when she wants to be. Just like grandma can be tough when she wants to be. So we did this little good cop, bad cop thing because we got trapped in a hotel in Luxor and they wouldn't let us out because they wanted to sample our group to see if anybody was diseased or something like this. And so we kept alternating going in trying to set our group free. And Hoda would go in there and be like, let our group go. And I'd go in there and I'd say, hi, how are you? I just kind of want to go. Can we go? So we did this kind of like Marilyn Monroe versus Stalin kind of act. It was very fun. And eventually we were let go. Anyway, so yeah, so the whole thing, Abu Simbel, I gave her all my money. We go to the airport. The airplane has only us on it. And they wanted to close the airport because we were the only people left in Abu Simbel. We went to see Abu Simbel, the big tombs there, by ourselves because there were no other people left. Everybody had already left. So we go and we fly out. I have a picture of all of us on the plane where it's only us. Oh, and one dude. Some dude got on our plane. I don't know who it was. Some guy by himself. We flew to Cairo. And the most interesting part was all the people going, but I have a ticket out of Jordan. And I'm like, you don't understand. I need to have your phone. I am going to help you book a ticket to go home today. Otherwise, you live in Cairo. And it was just like, oh, trying to convince people because I just don't think we understood how bad it was. And I'm like, you must buy a ticket to go home right now. I have found you one ticket. You have one exit to get out of this country. You need to take that ticket. Go now. So eventually everybody got their tickets. I got a ticket after everybody else left. I had the last flight out of Cairo. It was an Air France flight to Paris. I get to Paris. There's nobody in the airport. I get on the flight to Seattle. And the worst thing possible, I'm sitting right by the door and they close the door. And as they do, all of the staff are crying. The staff at the airport, the people on the plane are crying. And they were in French chatting. And they basically said, I don't know when or if I'll ever see you again. And I was like, oh my God, I escaped by this. I mean, that was the moment it hit me that I'm like, I can't believe I just escaped by the skin of my teeth. Barely. Like, I should have gone home with them. I shouldn't have done any of that stuff. That was just like, but you know, when you have a group and I'm responsible for them, I can't leave them. I have to take care of them and make sure they get home first before I do. So, you know, Hoda and I could have been living together for months. Actually, that wouldn't have been terrible, but you two would have been feral. So that wouldn't have been great. Anyway, that's the Great Escape story in brief. It's a much longer story than that. I'll have to write about it because it gives me a headache to think about. Even 5 years later, it gives me a headache to think about. That was really scary. Every day was just like, what's going to happen next? Something terrible is going to happen next. So anyway, that's our great memory. That's our commemoration on the 5-year anniversary of the Great Escape from Egypt, the flight from Egypt. I would love, and we need to do this, all the people who are with me, if you're out there, and I know some of you are, we should have a little online round table that we live stream of like, what do you remember? Because I'm going to bet you your memories of that trip are different than mine. I remember we also got, is that the one we got trapped on? I think we got trapped on the Nile boat because there was like a locust. There was like a plague of locusts.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
That was the same trip.
There was a locust plague.
There was a plague of locusts and we got trapped in our boat and we were all so bored. And luckily I had a lot of alcohol on me. And so we just drank all night. We sat in my hotel room or in my Nile boat cruise room and we drank all the alcohol. It was a sandstorm. No, it was locusts. It was locusts and a sandstorm, but there was also a plague of locusts at the same time. That's not a joke, actually. That did happen. So yeah, that was, again, this is why I drink right there. And this is why when people go, oh, what a nice job you have. You're so cute. You go on vacation for your work. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm like, you don't know what I go through. You don't know the things I've seen. Tour guides have seen a lot. Watch the White Lotus. Watch that. Then you know. Tour guides go through a lot. So anyway, on the 5-year anniversary of the escape from Egypt, I would like to offer a toast to all of those who experienced that with me. I hope you are well and happy and safe and healthy, and thanks for surviving with me. We will be family forever because somehow we escaped that together. So cheers to you. And now Nico's very excited about going to Egypt, I think.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great. I'm going to get to see the locust plague, right? Maybe see some frogs falling from the sky.
In this timeline, I would not be surprised. Nothing surprises me anymore. And on that note, it is the end of our hour together. Thank you very much for joining us for the Travel Happy Hour today, where we randomly chat about different things. Maybe I'll have Luca come and do this with me next time.
That'll be a lot more interesting than me, honestly.
You're much more quippy than he is.
I don't really say anything, though. I don't feel like I'm that funny.
This is the Oscar Wilde of our family. He doesn't say much, but when he does, it's usually
I don't know who Oscar Wilde is.
Gen Zers. Such losers. Read something that's not on your phone.
I do read something. You know what I read.
Mm-hmm.
What? What?
Do you guys think that we look alike? Everybody says that we look alike.
I think we look super alike.
Yeah, we do. Anyway, you did a great job. You're amazing. And this is very sociable for you on camera. So anyway, I hope very much you guys will join us again. I'm going to say maybe we should do this next week again, and I'll see if I can get Luca to join us or something, and we'll maybe both you and Luca, because watching
we can figure out where Luca is.
we can figure out what Luca is, because you two bantering, I don't even need to be on camera. These two just have like their own language, so
Yeah, that'll be like incomprehensible though.
that is true. All right, friends. Mwah. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for keeping us sane in the past and keeping us clothed and housed every day. We're so happy to see you. So mark your calendars. For those of you who are Patreon members, it's going to be March 27th. We're going to release our 2026 tour schedule, and you have that week to book. General booking is going to start on the following Tuesday, which is like April 1st-ish, something like that. Then everybody who is not a Patreon member will have the chance to book whatever is left over. So that's the plan. And yeah, I think that's all.
Yeah.
Okay. Buona serata, everybody. Have a great Friday night, and thank you so much for being a part of our community. Chins up. We have gone through many things that are very tough, and we can continue to do it. If I can escape Egypt, you can get through the next however many years. You're going to be fine. All right? So keep traveling and keep having a good time, and we'll talk to you again. I think next week would be fun. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. Can you turn that one off, too?